Whoa, I just zoned out there for a second. I think
Hey.
I remember that we were sitting in a room recording a podcast, and then I think I nodded off, and now I'm here.
Hey, man, don't worry about it. Just keep moving.
Oh.
Say yes. Don't look at the time.
Oh, okay. Good evening, all, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast downstairs. We are just three weirdos locked in a basement that absolutely love horror. We got a lot to say about that, but first we're going to go around the room and introduce ourselves. Let me just start off by saying, 1, 2, Glenn is coming for you. 3, 4, Joe locked the door. 5, 6, Claudio's playing some flicks. Welcome to the podcast, bitch. I'm your worst nightmare, and I'm Glenn, bitch.
Thank you. I feel like that kind of covers us, unless you want to
I'm
roll.
so glad you only
awesome.
hit one of mine.
Yeah.
What can I say? What a rush it is to be with these lovely people. Just so you know, and down here in the basement, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy, because this is God. JK, it's me, Claudio.
Bitch.
Bitch.
Not God. Just me, Joe. Hey. Welcome to my nightmare.
I was only petting him.
Oh.
So,
Well-
hopefully the only time we open an episode with a dead dog reference. Let's get into today's...
Well, this has already started to become a nightmare. It's only appropriate since we're doing a Nightmare on Elm Street. Another hit in our SLASHICS series where we review, go back and check out the original and then compare it to the early 2000s remake, which is almost always a really good idea. Because it's fun. It's fun to watch these movies.
It's a cautionary tale.
Oh, God. You should still watch them, though.
I genuinely do have fun comparing and contrasting, the best of...
I'm so happy that we've been doing this, because it's made me go back and rewatch so many things. I was like,
1000%.
oh, I had mixed feelings about this, and it's now I can really hammer down on, what it was.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm ready to rumble.
No, and it's also really exciting going back and rewatching a bunch of movies that it's no, I know that movie inside and out, and then you rewatch the original and you're like, shit, I forgot about a lot of this. That was actually pretty cool. So we're here to just discuss about that and, share this nightmare with all of you.
Yes, we will not only go through just what we love about the original and kind of celebrate how cool and different from all of its previous slasher contemporaries it was, and what Wes Craven did with this fantastic idea, and we can get into I think probably a decent amount of the behind the scenes tidbits and stuff. But again, when it comes to the original slashers, it's mostly going to be a lot of praise and love and trivia, but a lot of that can be looked up elsewhere. I'm the most interested in doing the comparisons because it allows us, I think, to not just kind of dump on the worst of the 2000s remakes, which is easy and fun, but I think it also allows us to kind of shine a light on what it did do well and what the original does great, which is again a fun way to celebrate what we love about all these weird dark things. But when it comes to Nightmare on Elm Street, this was the one that I was kind of most excited to do because I think I have a real soft spot for the idea of a dream warrior, if you will, because that's just so inherently cool because you get to play with surrealism. That is inherently it developed from subconscious stuff. It's not just weird. It's no, it's what you've otherwise not been able to express. It comes from these very deep psychological ideas.
Who you are versus who you want.
Which is very understandable coming from someone like yourself who is not only a true lover of surrealist art, but also like someone who one of your favorite movies is Dr. Sleep. Like you like that kind of thing where it's like, no, get weird with it. Jump in between worlds. Give me some shit to think about. This is going to be cool.
Thank you, because I think it's a compliment. Because it's such a great like opportunity to do just that. Like so, like you have like all the permission to just like be the weirdest version. Like it's so Lynchian. Like it is like what you love about Twin Peaks and all the works of David Lynch and like his ability to like tap into not just bizarre, not just weird for the sake of it and like haha look at that fish drinking coffee or whatever. Like it's because it resonates on these
drinking
like
coffee, he was merely in the pot. What he was doing in the pot, I'll never know.
This suit burns bad.
Don't drink that coffee.
One of my favorite things about just Freddy Krueger as a entity, and this is one of my favorite things I wrote down, is what is the opposite of a broody, silent killer? And that's a wisecracking, slender, wise-ass twink.
Yeah. So, here's a...
Oh, wait. Let's not confuse communities because Fred Krueger is a horrible man.
Dare I say twinks are... No. But like... but no,
he bullies twinks all the time. Don't listen to him.
No, I didn't.
Him?
The world! The world! But like, you have these like tall, imposing figures that are like, men of very little words. They walk around.
Up until this point, that's what we got a lot of.
Yeah. And then
Michael,
you have...
Jason.
Yeah. All these people... and then you have Freddy, and he's just...
Billy, the
I was about to say,
minor.
Billy was a twink.
Billy was the twink.
The minor was not.
The minor.
The minor was not. But yeah, then you have Freddy, and he's this, like, shorter. He has, he's silly looking compared to the others. It's a...
I don't know what you mean by silly looking.
I think some people could rock the vest and hat, sure.
Me
but
and Dave Filoni take offense to what you have to say about fashion in this moment, sir.
But when you have like the drenched jacket or like the mechanic suit and then you just see
I'm not gonna
gas mask.
I'm not gonna burn the duster.
But now
you see that.
we're getting a burned up twink in a sweater.
Oh, so he gets a twink and it's fine and dandy, but but the certified homosexual cannot.
I'm merely trying to just be an ally.
Thank you.
I'm here to boost you. It is my fetish after all.
God, the continuity. But yeah, it's just really cool to have that juxtaposition.
It is a stark difference.
A different character, still terrifying in his own way, but then just to be not what we've seen before.
So interestingly enough, Wes Craven actually had said that when they started casting for this character, for this role, he didn't want Robert Englund. Like he was just like, oh yeah, guy's great, but that's not what I'm looking for. And they were like, well, Wes, like what were you looking for? He's like, I wanted like a big beefy hulk of a dude. Like I wanted him to be big and scary.
Huh.
But then like he watched Robert's audition tape and went, oh, hold on, I think I have an idea about this. So it's like, this truly is like Robert's character.
I understood.
Like Robert made what Freddy is.
How much like authorship he did have behind it. Like I thought he had like a bit more than like the average, performer, and that's like super cool. But I didn't understand that like Craven had like a different conception. That's very interesting.
And this is also the first time that we're seeing, like, at least with our SLASHICS and in the chronological order of time going by, like we're starting to actually get a villain who is a personified character played by the same star, and this star makes that character.
And even through the makeup, which we will dig deeper into, you can see Robert Englund's face. Like his features are doing work that
he's delivering lines, like he's doing things that like not a lot of the other characters we got leading up to this had.
And to be clear, I'm not saying Robert Englund looks like Freddy Krueger. Like I'm not like that would be so horribly disrespectful. But what I mean, but you can see the performer and like his facial expression is like you can observe it.
He's not relying
unlike
on
some
a mask,
other poor actors.
There's a way
prosthetics.
to act and have the mask do the acting for you and have it overwhelm you so that you're not shining through, and he does a fantastic job of letting the mask do its job and him still doing his job too. and that makes it so much
like
so rich.
Friday the 13th, like Jason Voorhees didn't start getting a personality until certain actors started taking over those roles to make him act a certain way, breathe a certain way, walk a certain way. For a little bit there, it was just like, all right, go A to B to kill. That's it. But then you started getting people like Kane Hodder showing up where it's like, no, Kane Hodder carried himself differently. He breathed differently. His shoulders bucked out. Like he had to like do this character acting for this monster that doesn't speak. Whereas like I feel like that really kind of kicked off with like Robert's iteration of Freddy. Like that's where it started. And I think this is a really fun one to kind of come back to because like the original for Nightmare on Elm Street was just like, it was something so different than what people were used to at this point.
And it's I would call it a primal fear.
Yeah.
Like a nightmare. Just a nightmare.
The one thing that you're supposed to
feel safe in
is like your own sleep and in bed. And it's like, this is the safest a human can be is when they find that cozy
Their guard
place
is down
to go to bed. And then something is terror. It's one of the oldest like mythos in the world of like demons coming to you while you're sleeping. And it is a primal fear. And I think it was like a really cool concept to be like, hey, we've had killers that just show up and start murdering. Some of them touched into the supernatural a little bit, sure, but like when they show up, they're coming after you, that's it, full stop. You can run away from that. You can't run away from not being able to sleep.
Yeah, I thought that was like just such an extra, like truly, like it's a word that gets thrown around a lot, right? But like genius, like brilliant, because it changes the paradigm of a slasher, because it's no longer purely a physical threat. It has that now like dream logic, metaphysical quality of like you have no escape. Like you truly can like go nowhere, because as they inevitably line out in every movie, which is like kind of so great that you have that kind of consistency. But like they inevitably have to in the plot acknowledge the fact that like you can only stay up for so long. Eventually, our bodies will like force us to shut down, and then micro naps are happening, and it's like such like a fun,
such a cool concept,
plot device where like again
you can't tell what's real and what's not.
You start blurring the line as to like what's in their head, what's not in their head, And
I love again like we can go through the kind of obvious beats of the original where you have like that incredible opening and like all the amazing special effects and like doing stuff that was never done before, both like physically and visually and with stunts and with effects and like I'd love we can talk about all that again. A lot of that though is like well documented and such. Like I'm most excited to just kind of
I don't think there's a single person in like the horror community that goes like that doesn't have some sort of admiration for what this movie did and talked about it in great detail.
So I'm sure we'll cover most of it just in like our gushing and praising and again like comparing to like what the remake did and didn't do. But like the original was so cool and just again like conceptually being like something that was completely different from what came before, but also was like extra neat for being more invasive than anything ever was, despite being like a cartoony, wisecracking, like cheesy joke making, like dad humor kind of villain. Like he is the most insidious. Yeah, until he wasn't. Until like the details get filled in on the mythology. Like until you stop and think about like all that stuff, and it's just like I think like you have Michael Myers as like the granddaddy, like one of the first, like apologies to Leatherface and Billy from Black Christmas, but like I feel like that just is like the shape is where I don't know everything kind of like felt legitimate and had been like mimicked the most since.
Yeah,
and then you have like your Jason as like
when it was no longer art movies. It wasn't an indie feature of like something. It actually had some renown to it. It wasn't just a cult movie.
It was like I'm kind of like a third time's a pattern. You know what I mean? Like first is a fluke, second is a coincidence, third is a pattern. Like kind of and like boom, like Halloween kind of did it, right? And then your Friday the 13th, you're kind of like the like quickie, like oof, let me Pepsi your Coke or whatever. But then like, My Bloody Valentine's aside, because again, as much as we enjoy that, and I think like it has become such a huge cult classic from the jump and has only increased since, like it never like got like its franchise life in the same way that
this was
Black
an
Christmas
evolution,
never did.
Though. Yes.
This was like the next big, huge franchise, like a million Halloweens, a million Fridays, and a million Elm Streets, and it starts with not just another, all due respect to Jason, like not just like a quickie imitator.
No, these are the OG big three, though. Yeah.
This is someone or something that pivots from a silent physical shape to a wisecracking metaphysical, like twink in a sweater, like. And it's just like Wes Craven is just so cool.
So he's allowed to say it.
I've gotten over it.
But no, just Wes Craven's awesome for just being like, you know what? Fine, I'll do a slasher if I can blow your mind and change the game and like.
But what if I did this?
And it's just awesome. Like,
Why am I wearing that?
Should get all the credit for all of that.
Yeah.
So fucking rad.
And it gave way to some like.
And Robert Englund.
It gave us
And Heather Langenkamp. Right?
And Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
This was Johnny Depp's first movie. Like this is
Don't forget our man John Saxon.
Whatever.
this is before that
and
witch,
John Saxon more than the other Johnny.
I was gonna say before that witch crawled out of a bog and cursed him to only play pale, crazy-haired, weird guys.
His name's Tim Burton. That's
Yeah, the bog witch. Wait, no. Hold on. I take that back. That's slander against all my
like
bog witches out there.
I feel like you would take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp seems like a piece of work. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, nonetheless, it is, of course, notable. Just like in the long, I don't say long tradition because I forget the timeline which comes first or whatever. But I love that, like, okay, Johnny Depp and Elm Street, Jennifer Aniston and Leprechaun, Courtney Cox and Masters of the Universe, Jeff Goldblum and The Fly. Like, I just love, like, our big names who had, like, humble beginnings. Specifically in, like, pulpy horror monster.
Actually, no, Jeff Goldblum is before The Fly.
Yes. He was a, like, thug in...
Yes, he was. He was
Death Wish?
Yeah, he was a hipster thug in Charles Bronson's Death Wish.
I remember seeing that in the credits.
Where Charles Bronson is the like little tiny, and he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna die today, punk."
Holy shit!
He's like 12 years old.
He's such a baby.
Oh my god!
He's still like 8'9", but like he's definitely 3. He's in 3rd grade.
He's like a hipster punk or whatever. Yeah, I forget what his name is.
Street tough. But no, like just early, weird sci-fi horror type monster like schlock stuff that ends up kind of, growing in infamy.
Yeah, this was definitely when the bar got upped, and the fact that it was like, all right, 5 years. We went from one to the next thing. So it's like if you're starting from like,
were you saying 5 years?
Like Halloween in '79 to like
the span from the big
to like
3
Nightmare
to...
'84.
Yes.
5 years, and it's like that evolution came so quickly that it's like, ooh,
sure. Yeah.
we had this first iteration of these like hunter killers to like now it's a different kind of thing, and we're growing into this and we're doing something different, and it's like it's so cool to see how fast it was like, oh, we can get away with this. Oh, that thing is popular. Oh, production companies are like, buy up any horror that we can. The weirder the better. People really like that kind of thing. And then Wes Craven is just like, I got you. Check this out.
And he said...
Well, because this is also after The Hills Have Eyes and The Last House on the Left. Am I remember that right? Mm-hmm. Those were hidden, right? Both of which I still haven't seen. They will be, I think, part of our eventual SLASHICS as we
1,000%.
get deeper into it because they have their 2000 remakes.
Yeah, 72.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he already had some notoriety, from those, like, as, like, horror, big titles. And then, I don't
Both of those being kind of outside of the box type of, like...
Also post Assault on Precinct 13. So, like, he's, not only a horror guy, but also just, like, an action pulp dude. Yeah. So, like, it's again, we're seeing...
Yeah,
a new twist, but also a little bit
comfortable to like give him the keys to kind of work with it.
I don't want to say prestige because I feel like that's again kind of giving too much credit to them because I'm like I know Craven and everyone else still had like an uphill battle with production and just fighting for stuff and keeping it weird and this, that, the other. It's not as if he had like the keys to the universe right off the bat.
No.
But again, like in retrospect, you can see just even with the rose-colored glasses that this guy was and everyone behind him and it's a big collaborative effort. But like. We're doing things with the genre, with the archetype, with the medium, and
it was definitively like right place, right time. Where it was like, oh yeah, you did just enough work to get to where you had to be for the production company to be like, here, go ahead, go do something weird. but also the market was dictating that it wanted something weird and we wanted more horror in a certain way. It was a perfect storm of just like, oh, all of these things kind of came together for this to get made. And then again, like the fluke of like, well, I wrote a bad guy, but I like this guy's acting, so I think we're going to change the bad guy and it's going to change the story a little bit. And it worked. It fucking just happened. And it's like, shit.
And there's instances where it doesn't work. Again, we'll get to the remake and like bad sequels we'll touch on, even though we're mostly focusing on the original and the 2010 version. But like, we
It'd be a
also
disservice to not talk about.
we love some of the sequels, so we'll just mention.
This one's kind of cool too because like it does. This franchise does what some of the other ones did, where it's like, yes, okay, I see where you're going with this, but this one I feel like had more success than the previous two big ones. To a point.
Well, I would also say, like, to your point of, like, mentioning even, like, sequels, but also other media in that, like, this one had a TV show.
Yeah, it had a TV spin-off, yeah.
Like, yeah, and it is so perfectly set up for getting weird and having interesting visuals to the point that, like, even, like, the Suits understood that, like, they should turn this into an anthology series on TV, which is exactly what they did for primetime.
But they had to wait. They had to wait just long enough for Freddy to become camp enough and kooky enough and a cartoon character enough.
Get a little toothless.
Yeah.
Get a little soft and kind of laughed at. But, like,
and
nonetheless,
they did it so tastefully, though, because
kept the idea alive.
In the TV show, they worked down his makeup just like a little bit. Not a whole lot, but like a little bit. And his makeup was a little bit softer, and it wasn't as like, eh! And him being like the crypt keeper for these scary tales was so fun.
And structurally fits.
Yeah.
Like, it makes so much sense. And again, like, not for nothing, like, it feeds into the meta narrative, which again, Wes Craven takes perfect advantage of with New Nightmare. And it's like, it's just such a cool franchise that has like such an extra cut above in conception, in talent, in production. But I also love that you were mentioning like Perfect Storm stuff, because like so much of what we love about it kind of was born of like either accident or necessity or catastrophe. Like, so not only with like the casting of Robert Englund kind of changing the conception of the character, which sort of creates narrative friction when you have to like not necessarily redeem, but like reckon with the fact that you kind of like love this like wisecracking slapsticky guy who's technically like a child-killing pedophile.
Oh yeah, they
came.
Like,
well, don't forget that.
That didn't happen until like the third movie that we discovered that. But like he was a child killer right off the gate. And it's like,
we know
that.
Sure.
Like he was genuinely scary in the very first movie. His whole thing was to be scary.
Yeah, he's always.
He is a bad man.
It was one of those like. It was not the jokes that were written. It was the presentation of the lines that changed things. And they were like, oh, that kind of works. A little more. Every movie that came out after, a little more. That's why he kind of became a comic book character at the end of everything. It was like, oh, you're a cartoon.
Yeah.
And not to jump ahead, but I feel like the remake shows you how like leaning against the comic weirdly makes it more difficult to reckon with the character.
Yeah.
And that's just like, we can get to that later, but like I think that's just like
I'm excited to get to that.
Yeah, yes. I got things to say about that.
Especially because like I like Jackie Earle Haley, like, and like, you know, all due respect to Robert Englund, but like the next actor, the only other actor I think to take on that role was in the, you know, widely derided and no one, you know, has much kindness for the 2010 remake that we're gonna get to later. But, like, I love Jackie Earle Haley. I just think he was kind of miscast and not given the supports he needed, and it was just sort of ill-fated from the jump.
Oh, yeah. I got major flowers and qualms to give to that when we get there.
We're going to beat up on the makeup department on that one a bit, but we'll get there.
But before we get there, 1984, Wes Craven, Robert Englund. There's not a lot to say about this movie that people haven't already touched on before. Like, this is not one of those, like, how did you come in contact with it? Like, Freddy's always been, for as long as I've been alive, Freddy has just been in the cultural zeitgeist. Like, that is a Halloween character. We all knew a kid that had the mask. Everybody wanted the glove.
You needed the glove.
Like, you see a fedora walking down the street, and it's like, or you see, like, a striped sweater, and it's like, you already knew. You already knew. Whether it was The Simpsons did it, or South Park did it, or like any cartoon,
or Scream did it,
or you saw the glove in Evil Dead, which we talked about.
Yeah, it's one of those. It transcends.
Yeah, but like with going back and like kind of slapping all that nostalgia to the side, going back and rewatching this original movie for the first time in a while, I forgot how well lit this movie was. They played with lighting in so many cool different ways. Freddy's intro alone stands out to me. Like the first time you see him, and he is just this silhouetted character, and then the arms get really long, and it's like it's a practical effect, and you can see him struggling to keep those arms up.
It's also only a silhouette. He's literally a black figure. It's just an outline and like abyss inside of that outline, and yet like I think that's why it resonates even
It is
more.
so intimidating, and it's such a good reveal. And they went against like the Jaws formula immediately. They were like, no, show the shark. Show it.
But it
because
makes sense.
it's scary enough that this shit is gonna fucking stick with you.
Well, because again, when you dream, you don't dream around the corner. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's in your
You
face.
need to see it
Like,
and
you're
have it
experiencing
live in your subconscious.
first person.
Yes.
So, like, it being kind of upfront.
And they came right out of the gate with the gags on that too.
Yeah.
Super long
They leaned
arms,
in.
him shadow jumping, him doing this, him do that.
But it'll get more cartoony in the sequels, but like even at the jump, like it's like
the thing that
wink and a
stands
nod
out
and,
to me is that like his in that intro when he slices his fingers off and the way that he's staring at his hand and then stares back directly at her into the camera, the way they lit his eyes so his eyes are glowing and you can't really even see all of the facial prosthetics yet, that is fucking horrifying.
It is respectfully edging the audience into like you're getting a little bit more of who
You're getting a
he is.
taste.
You're not getting the full picture. You're not like you said. You're not getting the Jaws, but you're getting just enough. You're like, what? Who? What am I looking
Like,
at?
this is far more than just showing you, like, oh, the shark swam by the boat. This is far more than, like, oh, you see the
Yeah.
dorsal fin. You see the size of the shark.
while being a little
You're
holding
seeing
back.
what he is. But it's like, and you're getting, like, the glimpses of his screwed up teeth. And it's like, there's something wrong with his face, but his eyes are just evil. And it's so sick. It is so cool.
Well, and again, not because Robert Englund has evil eyes, but like I love
We
that
love
they
you,
gave Freddy like the witch contours. Like he has witch chin nose, like crescent moon meeting each other
Yeah.
energy. Like that's such like, and like I think that I assume it's intentional because in design it harkens back to like iconography of witches, like which we automatically associate as like also evil, messing with children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Classic sleep paralysis demon look type of thing. Like he looks like what a Renaissance painting would depict a demon to look like.
I
It
think
is
that's why it
vaguely
works,
humanoid and just the worst.
And it taps into these like Jungian archetype things that we're all, you know, theoretically sharing on some level. And so, and like what else is a horror movie if not something that taps into like primal fears that we all subconsciously share? Like
It also
this was just such a perfect
Dare I
piece.
say, if we're talking about color theory and like when we think about like Renaissance painting, the color theory of, I mean, like maybe this is me just going, yeah, but check this out. But
he
like,
said in his tie-dye shirt.
but like, okay, red we associate with, you know, hell, fire, demonography. Green was also a color of evil as well. I mean, like the Disney green. We see like, you know, villains have this like green fog, this green like fume,
Yeah,
just like
otherworldly, toxic.
Yeah, like, you know, like it's
Green's also
connotates-
nature. But
It's
also
it's a
the
very
grotesque
unnatural
version.
thing to have the air be a certain way. Of it being like, oh, if the air is green, that's unnatural. That doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
Well, it's funny. It's out of context, right? Because green in a room is like, oh shit, something went wrong. Green in nature, like, you know,
It's
kinda
just
a
like,
little
of
bit more-
course.
like it's magic, but like it feels fitting. But like I
Yeah.
hear what you're saying.
But like
100%.
just having like multi-colors of, you know,
unnatural lighting
Yeah.
in like a school or a hallway or their doctor's office. Yeah.
Yeah, like that was a really cool way of like that's how they kind of slip into like those dream sequences that you're not sure if it is a dream until it actually becomes a dream. That lighting change is so that's what when she realizes she's in the dream, that's when the color shifts.
And never knowing when you're safe. Like that's why it's brilliant. That's why it's that
Scott
genius.
Buffield, head of lighting.
That's why
did
even
an
like
all-star job of this.
you know, silly sequels can kind of take advantage of this like extremely strong fundamental idea. And like
because
just
it's like they set that precedent of like, okay, cool, yeah, we can play with like surrealist lighting and weird secondary light sources and weird colors to like wash a room in, and they kind of took that and ran with it, and that's kind of why it became cartoony at a certain point, is because it's like, well, you can only color drench things so much to a point before it starts becoming so comic-y or so like...
It's also such a great illustration of like the fine line between like laughing, like comedy and tragedy, and like laughter and tears, and like horror and comedy, and like it is a thin line between like those reactions, and like I think that's where we're seeing folks like Ari Aster like finding various degrees of success playing with like black humor versus straight horror, you know,
Yes.
like you see it in a lot of ways where comedian Jordan Peele, one of our funniest comedians and one of our like most stark horror directors and storytellers, whatever, you know, like there are so many instances of like that fine line, and I think this is such a great illustration of it because like yeah, you have those Looney Tunes-esque bits in like, you know, parts like 4, 5, and 6 of this franchise, but like it's still more like disturbing, creepy in the right ways in like the early and the original stuff and stuff then that I think gets like the sour note in like the remake where it's just kind of leaning into like creepy kids shaking too much like type effects, and you're just like, okay, I've seen
it's
a
also
corn music video too.
interesting how like they decided that like in the early version it's like Robert's take on things is like I joke and I laugh because I'm a sick and sadistic weirdo crazy guy, and like that's just who I am. Whereas like the jokes that kind of happen with Jackie Earle Haley's version is like his jokes are dark and scared. Like I was only
jokes.
petting him was like that's supposed to be like his version of a joke because he's a different iteration of it.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be darker, so even the jokes are darker now, and it's like it's not landing as jokey. It's landing as like
Sexual harassment.
yeah. It's supposed to be more unnerving, which admittedly they did get. They did get that. And it was like, I see you guys were trying to do something different with it, but it's like, those were huge fucking shoes to fill with that. Like, something that it was built up so many movies down the line and had so much mythos just behind it, and you guys tried to flip it on its head. That's a hard task to do in one movie.
But it's the delivery of it, like you said. If you have someone smiling at you, playing with their food, cracking a joke when ultimately their goal is to kill you.
Yeah, delivering a joke with a straight face through like the Kubrick stare, that's not a joke.
It's like, yeah, we get it. Like, you know, maybe it's the makeup. Who knows? But delivering it straight face, definitely, like, you succeed. I do feel like, you know, a concern.
It's more intimidating that way for sure.
But it hits different when you see someone who is actively like, you know, toying with you.
Yes.
And like
it's maniacal.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this is a demonstration of like a remake getting it wrong because it tried to do something different with a familiar face.
Yeah.
Even though like they messed up the face, but like, okay, if you wanted to do something that different, then like why are you doing it Freddy Krueger? Like do come up with a different slasher, pay homage, but then don't call him Freddy Krueger and put him in this sweater. If you're not gonna let him, but if you're not gonna like do more of like if you wanted it to be grim, gritty, and like not slapsticky at all or absurdist at all or the kind of creepy that I think hits the right notes, then like then don't do Freddy Krueger.
Actually, speaking of the same sweater, did you know that the costume designer Judy Graham knitted both of the sweaters?
And didn't they?
She knitted the original sweaters and then she knitted the one in the remake.
That's cool.
It's cool that they brought back the same person for it.
I thought I read too that like they originally like didn't want it to be red and green, and like Wes Craven was just like, nah, screw it. We'll take back Christmas. It's fine. Like we'll use that as like a familiar thing. To,
which
like,
Wes Craven made nod back to in Scream.
Yeah.
That sweater shows up. Also, I think is
is
it
in the
wet?
closet
Is it?
of Winkler?
Hold on, no, it's
he's the janitor.
Wes Craven is the janitor.
Oh yes. And he's
wearing that.
Yes, yeah.
Or is it John Carpenter?
No, it's someone is wearing the hat and the sweater.
Yeah, somebody's wearing the hat and the sweater, mocking or as the janitor in the school and is Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
I think it was either Wes Craven or I want to say it was John Carpenter. They were like, "Hey, buddy, get in my movie. Come on."
I love that.
LOL.
I'd have to look that up. That's funny though.
That's what I was also going to refer to earlier with like kind of accidental leaning into things and just like iconography being born of like whoops but like wasn't the opening sequence blood gush like not meant to go in one direction? or it was meant to go in one direction and just kind of like it fanned everywhere. Like I forget like what I read on this.
Are you talking about the Johnny Depp scene?
Yeah.
That I do believe there was a malfunction with that it was supposed to be more of an explosion, and instead it shot directly.
There were like a lot of malfunctions with that spinning room that is ironically like similar to the device they used in Christopher Nolan's Inception, which came out the same year.
I thought you were going to say the famous Jamiroquai video. Like,
I mean, yes, the same idea. Like it is that I don't know if it was literally the same, but like. Yeah, just the same idea of like having the floors move and make
Wes Craven was the cameo.
I was going to say, which
as Fred the janitor.
Yep, that one. And all this for this, it wasn't a high kill count movie. It was like 4 deaths, 4 kills.
Because there's like so much like story, mythology.
There's a lot of stalking.
Building. There's establishing playing with your food.
Yeah.
What?
Like there's a lot of story, there's a lot of, setting the levels and just playing with your food.
Yeah, because Freddy canonically needs to.
I see.
He needs the fear.
Yeah. And like,
so it's like he's just going around fucking just slashing people left and right. It's like no. There's no terror in that.
Well, and I do like that they build that into the mythos. Like he needs fear to be fueled. He needs to be remembered to have power. And like even though they never really map it out entirely, and I feel like if they did, it would probably fall apart. But like when they do kind of give a little bit of like rules to the weird dream nightmare logic, like that somehow like makes it more, I don't know, fun and exciting. Like again with Part 3, Dream Warriors, when they bring back Heather and like they give them like essentially like X-Men established like team superpowers scenarios. Like I loved it. Like it was so much fun.
Dream
and like
Warriors is my favorite 100% out of the original.
And it's all kind of like if you think
it's so good.
When I said we were going to talk about other Nightmare on Elm Street, it's really just 3.
Yeah. 3 and New Nightmare. I love New Nightmare. And that movie was fucking awesome.
The crumb of homoeroticism that was.
Oh, 2? Yeah, 2's fantastic.
I still haven't seen 2.
Yeah, dude.
I heard it's not well regarded.
I mean,
I like 2.
It's hot and it's ready.
Yeah. It's not like my favorite one of all of them, but I do like 2.
Well, because that was famously like Wes Craven was in no way involved, right?
Correct. That was David Chaskin.
And he kind of like didn't he contribute to the story of 3, and so that's why it has like
that
a poor,
it kind of just
sort of history spot. But
it was definitely one of those like, hey.
Kind of like how Halloween 2 was like pumped out immediately.
Yeah.
But it didn't even have the original folks behind it.
We're talking about production like speed. 5 movies in 5 years.
See,
84, 85, 87, 88, 89. And then we have Freddy's Dead in 91. So like really.
And Nightmare is 94.
Yeah, so in
Scream is 96.
Yeah, New Nightmare's 94, and then Freddy vs. Jason was 03.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In 10 years, they got
9.
7 movies.
7.
Yeah. Because Wes Craven's was 94. So 7 movies in 10 years. That's a lot. Like, not to say,
good for Robert to get like, he gets work.
And he was in every single one. And not to say like we expect perfection, but like it's bound to slip up if you're doing.
Well, almost everyone.
What?
Almost everyone. He's not in the 2010 remake, right?
No.
Oh no. In that frame.
Oh yeah.
In that 10-year frame, he was getting bank. And like we don't expect perfection, but like.
And even since then, outside of that, he was still getting work doing stuff.
Leslie Vernon, like.
He is another one of those dudes that is like him, Tony Todd, like Tom Atkins, like these are those guys that it's like, nah, call me up. I want to do your horror movie. I want to be in it. I love this genre so much, and he is just a joy.
And he has a movie coming out this year.
He's
in Pinocchio. He's the cricket.
Huh. Oh God.
So who's doing this one, Pinocchio?
Pinocchio Unstrung. That's going to be by Reese Frake Waterfield. That's going to be in like the Pooh-verse, if you will.
The Pooh-verse?
Excuse me.
I'm going to take that back. I don't like the way that sounded.
The Twisted Childhood. So that's like the Bambi.
But the Bloody Horror remake ones.
Yeah. It's in that universe.
Okay. Whatever.
Wait, does Screamboat fall into that as well?
What does? No.
Screamboat?
So it's the Winnie the Pooh's, Peter Pan, and Bambi.
Oh.
And now Pinocchio. But yeah, just all I'd say, he's everywhere.
Yeah. Very inspired.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool. I'm very happy for him.
Yeah.
This movie, this franchise, was the one I was most afraid of. I did not touch this. I did not want to look at it.
Yeah.
This series, if I had to pick like which one I finally watched at the end, it was this one.
Yeah.
Because like Nightmares.
It was this and The Exorcist for me.
Yeah.
Like, The Exorcist scared the shit out of me. Like, those practical... Not even, like, the concept of a possession. It was the practical effects in that movie.
And the reputation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, Linda Blair's face scared the shit out of me for years.
I feel like that's what we're going to cap off. Like, once we're done... Or whatever. Once we've kind of exhausted a lot of the SLASHICS things, I feel like if we're going to, like, do, like, a big-time totem, it's going to be, like, The Omen and then The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Just I said, just because there's so much weight behind it.
Oh, for sure.
The legacy. Oh.
But like being afraid of The Exorcist, same thing. I was almost
Yeah.
afraid to watch it because of everything that was just even associated with the production. But then like
Yeah.
Freddy
Yeah.
Krueger too has that extra level of like, yeah, but what if I actually have a dream about him? That's a little bit too close to like, I don't ever think
Yeah.
Michael Myers is around the
No,
corner.
as a kid, especially, like, that, when you're a
I
child...
can avoid summer camp.
Yeah.
Easy. I can't not go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as a kid, when you're still in that fantastical state of mind of like, hey, I can't swim in a pool at nighttime because there could be a shark in there. Like, when you're in that mindset of growing
Paranoia.
up, well, just even in just like growing up in an adolescence, that you have that fantastical brain that allows the most outlandish things to be actual real fear. Watching Nightmare is like, because what if he fucking follows me? What if I dream about him? Like you said, like that's how he infects you, is you watching these movies and then he shows up in your fucking sleep. Like, that's terrifying.
That idea, like being baked into the premise of like, well, no, if you think about him, he has power over you. Like, it's so much so that like, isn't Slender Man like a little bit borrowed
he doesn't
from that?
exist unless the story is told, and then it's like that's the whole thing. Is like that's what kicks it off, and people bring up Freddy, and then it's like then he starts going on a spree again.
And that's why I think New Nightmare is like works so well, because it makes such perfect sense, because it's already kind of like preloaded in everyone's brains on the meta level of like, well, yeah, if you like
because then you can double meta that shit.
like
And they sure the fuck
Because
do.
it's like, okay, now we're gonna meta the original movie and bring all of the original characters back and make it seem like, no, Freddy's a real fucking entity attacking the actors that were in this. But then it double the metas
because we're reinforcing the idea on you, the audience.
Now it's like, now you're bringing home
He's
the fact
back,
that it's
isn't
like
he?
there's different Freddy, who's real Freddy, who's gonna come get me again.
And who Robert Englund is actually afraid of. The most, actually. 'Cause
So
he's,
fucking cool.
He's imitated the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
There's also
fun.
been like sleep demons and nightmare gods like throughout mythology and
Oh, for
history. You know what I mean? It's
sure.
like it just taps into so much of what I think. Ironically, like Halloween and Michael Myers and Psycho and everything else, like has been trying, like what all scary movies try to do is like this is already kind of like making it explicit and just part of the mythology.
It's just such a genius thing that he was able to kind of, like, Wes Craven was able to come up with and be like, hey, let's do a thing. And there's still gray area in some of it. Like, is he a person? Is he a demon?
Do you want to talk about the ending?
Oh, we'll get
or do
there.
you want to talk about? I love that debate too.
Yeah,
like,
is he a person? Is he a demon? Is he a person that became a demon? It's like,
or why did this random pervert get so much power?
Yeah. Like, it's such an interesting thing that you're asking questions that it's like, well, we're not going to spell it out for you. That's up to you to decide what you think is going to be the best. We'll lean in different directions. Or,
Is he a Deadite?
Hint? No, because he's not physical. He has very little powers in the real life.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
If there was a book tied to his like corporation or existence, but it never is. And honestly, it's always, we don't know why Heather is special and why she can pull him into the world sometimes, or what that entails with where he's vulnerable sometimes. Like,
but I did think that that's a cool concept about 2, is the fact that it's like he realizes that he can cross over into the real world, and it's like, well, now I need a vessel to come through. Which is why the second one happens the way that it happens. And it's like, he's literally like trying to fucking birth himself through this person.
which isn't that what he's kind of do in 4 as well? Isn't that the dream child? Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the dream baby. That's definitely. He's just a dream baby. I like another thing. I have 2 notes that I have written here about the original. First off, when Heather Langenkamp goes to the sleep study, do you guys recognize who the sleep study doctor was?
I know this is an Easter egg, and I don't, and I'm so mad I forget.
So I watched the remake this morning,
Unfortunately.
I've watched the original a handful of times over the years, and the last time was like several years ago, so I don't remember.
So I don't remember the actor's name. I do remember who he was. The sleep study doctor was the man who was the voice of Roger Rabbit.
Oh. Is he anyone that we would know from other stuff, or is that just like...
He's been in a ton of things as himself, but I feel like anytime I've ever seen him, I was like, that's fucking Roger Rabbit.
I'm screaming.
What is his name, Claudia?
I wish he had someone who was like, hand me the syringe! You know, like just very...
1, a 2! Freddy's coming for you!
Charles Fleischer?
Fleischer? Yeah.
Fleischer.
Charles Fleischer.
Nancy, run!
Yeah, that's him. Fuck!
That name is like ringing bells for me. I feel like he's like famous for something. Other than Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, his...
Balto.
Yeah, he's done a lot of voice acting.
Zodiac.
He was in Zodiac,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting.
That's wild.
Yeah, his IMDb goes back a long, long way. But it's like, I just thought it was really funny that I was like, that's fucking Roger Rabbit, motherfucker. You're not fooling anybody. He's not a real doctor.
Check his credentials.
The other thing that I have written down is, it just says, Home Alone, question mark? When Nancy finally gets up enough strength to Home Alone Kevin McAllister her house.
I'm gonna do this myself.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna booby trap this door and a tripwire, and I'm gonna put some paint cans on the stairs.
Christopher Columbus, director of Home Alone, if I'm not mistaken, like understood that he recognized the brilliance of why audiences would respond to whether it was a young lady or a young Macaulay Culkin, booby trapping and Ramboing their way through their home against dangerous predators was like
It was
the
a
way
Rambo moment,
into America's hearts in the early 90s and late 80s.
I completely just spaced on the fact that she like rigged her house up the way that she did. It was
Well, 'cause again, it's like
so slapstick, and I don't think it was intended to be as such. But it's like then you had Robert Englund just like responding the way that he did. That it's like, why couldn't he open a door?
I think that stuff
It's
works.
like, Freddy, were you trying with the wrong hand? Like, I can't grab the goddamn door handle. Oh wait. Click.
Nails on his gloves. I think that booby trap stuff is so compelling because it's like very competence porn type stuff where you have to watch someone
She's not helpless.
build something very complicated and it has to be precise, and there's like a Rube Goldberg admiration behind it.
Yeah.
And it also shows that our main like tortured teen here is not helpless.
Yeah.
She is a very capable person, and I feel like that's part of the reason why Freddy was going after her the way that he did, is because it's like, no, you are strong, and
Jamie Lee Curtis is plenty tough, but like she is just kind of running around all the time. You know, like it does make a difference,
especially in the second
back.
fucking movie.
Especially in a way like because she can't. I mean, she does do physical booby traps, but like that is only gonna maybe work because of her clever and brave idea to like pull him into another universe, which like again like. It results from her being...
Which the groundwork was laid when she pulled his fucking hat.
Not just strong physically, but like
also,
clever.
how many hats does he have? Why was his name written inside the hat? Was he gonna lose it in hell? Hey, give me back my hat, Beelzebub! Like, what the fuck is he gonna do? Where'd it go?
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah, but it's like, I feel like everything really pays off. Anything that's presented throughout, like, even just in the first movie alone, anything that's presented gets used up. And they check off all of the whole movie. The big downfall being the ending. Nobody's happy about the ending of this movie.
So I always forget, what is the lore? Because like this was not the ending that Wes Craven wanted, but it was not the ending that the producers wanted either.
They
it was
originally
sort of a compromise.
filmed several different endings.
Right, okay.
There's multiple. There's Wes's ending. There's the producer's ending. There's the writer's ending.
Do you remember like?
I can't remember exactly what all of it was. Like some of them were like, we're gonna close the door once and for all. Freddy's gone. There's ones
just don't see him again.
Yeah, there's ones where it's like a Halloween moment where Loomis looks out the window and Michael's no longer there. There was stuff like that, but it's like us ending with the whole like, oh, mom gets sucked in through the window while you're driving away in the Freddy mobile. Like,
That's the thing, like, that's why, like, you have to see, it has to, like, there has to be something at the end, because, like, yeah, it's a Freddy mobile, it's got that, like, weird Vaseline fuzziness to it, like, it's clearly a dream sequence, everything's slow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's clearly something's gonna happen.
I love how heavy-handed it was with, like, the drop top being his sweater. Like, come on! But then you get this blow-up doll pulled through a window, and then the movie's
in.
in.
Awesome. You don't like it? I love it.
So, I think it's fun. I don't think it was really done well. I'm still stuck in Roger
Like,
Rabbit. I don't think it was done well.
Physically, or like a writer, like it's just a poor idea?
I don't think it was pulled off the right way from both standpoints.
Okay, so not just like
I think
how it looked, but like what it was.
Yeah, I feel like they could have tweaked it a little bit better to make it more of a mystery instead of it being like, and then you don't know what happens.
Is that the distinctions among the various endings? Just like, is it just like that ending, but like we stop it at different points? Or is it like Freddy pulling the mom through the door window versus him popping out of a tree versus them not even driving away? Instead, it's some other.
Well, like I said,
you know what I mean? Like
there was things for them being like, we close the book and it's done. Like Freddy is gone. We beat him. We won. He's gone. Then there was like a mysterious ending where it's like, is he gone? Do we know she's safe? We don't really know, which I think is how it should have ended.
There was, yeah.
And then there was like the heavy-handed ending that we got as well, where it was like, he's back. You don't know if she survives. Go fuck yourself. Credits.
I kind of think that's funny because, like, like heavy-handed is a good way to put that, I guess, because it is so explicit. But at the same time, it's not spelling out or explaining anything, and so like it is.
It does leave you with mystery and questions,
that's
which is
cool. That's kind of why, like, I've come to love it. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, that's frustrating. But like
it also it doesn't end like anything else that we've seen before.
And that's again like another. So that's kind of why I'm always confused and don't fully remember like. That was the like compromise ending? That was the one the director didn't like? Was that the one the producers wanted? Because like what would have been the more like artistic extreme? Like you know what I mean? Like what I want to know what Wes Craven wanted.
Yeah.
And because I think that's so cool, but I can see also how it's frustrating or misleading or cheap. You know what I mean? Because like they did all that work to beat him and then he's not beaten. But I think that for me,
because it's like
not only adds to the like fear and power of Freddy, but it also makes Part 3 Dream Warriors and the 1994 New Nightmare so super cool because those three, the original Part 3 and New Nightmare in 1994, those are the only three with the Heather character. And they also create an arc for her where she is the initial victim. She is then the like wizened veteran that gets pulled in when it's like messing up a new group in Dream Warriors Part 3. And then she's not even Heather. She is playing herself, the actress, when Freddy takes on literal life in a meta, almost like I can't think of it, like breaking the fourth wall kind of way in New Nightmare, which is such a cool, crazy, unique movie that like. You know, even Scream doesn't have that.
And
you know, like
Friday the 13th could never.
Scream has Stab, and the Friday the 13th remake has its like weird extended cold open, but like no one else has done New Nightmare, and that's just so cool. I love that trifecta or whatever, that triptych that accidentally kind of works.
But. But it's like I feel like accidentally works is a good tagline for a lot of the franchise itself, whereas 2010s. I'm ready to move on to 2010 if you guys are good.
Talk about what mostly does not work.
2010, directed by Samuel Bayer, starring Jackie Earle Haley, Rooney Mara, and our patron saint of violence, Kyle Gallner.
Who, not for nothing, is before Rooney Mara in the title, in the opening title credits, and he is first build.
All right, so
or maybe second build after Jackie Earle Haley, maybe
second build, yeah.
Okay, but like ahead of Rooney Mara, which all due respect to her and to our Scream King Kyle Gallner.
Rooney Mara she was a big name then.
So okay, 2010, same year, was Social Network, which is like what she got like the big she's a real actor type stuff. Because before this, she was
one of
just
my favorite soundtracks
of
all time.
She hit that good old Urban Legends.
A year later was the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo remake, and so that's when Rooney Mara I feel like kind of took off. But this was before
another
all
great soundtrack. Funny enough, the score as an upper, we'll start on a bright note. 2010, we have Kyle Gallner, Jackie Earle Haley, but also this score, this soundtrack is so atmospheric and cool. It's fucking scary. It's very good. Listen to it by itself.
Honestly didn't.
Yeah, I know. You're usually thrown off by the shit that you're seeing on screen. No, go back and listen to it. It's actually really fucking crazy cool, like atmospheric stuff. Also, right at the get-go, this movie's fucking brutal. This cold open is probably the best part of this movie.
Oh, I hard disagree. Hate this cold open.
Oh, I like it.
Compared to the original, this is lame.
No. Not in comparison to the original. If I'm looking at this movie by itself, this is the best part of this movie, I think.
I found it to be long and confusing. Not in, like, what happens at the end, but, like, it's doing too much. It's trying to establish Rooney Mara as the waitress who Kyle Gallner has a crush on. Are they in high school? Are they in their 20s? We don't know.
I have it written down here. 30 to 40-year-old teens.
They eventually clear it up, but yeah, the dude who eventually, opens up his throat.
Yeah.
At Freddy's behest, of course. Like, has such 5 o'clock shadow. He is very much of the Ryan Phillippe I'm a teenager tradition.
Yeah.
Kyle Gallner, to all his credit, who, like...
He's looked like a baby for years.
Well, I was going to say, he is a threatening, strong man that we give, like, all the credit to. Like, we just love this dude to death.
Best thing he ever did was grow a mustache.
2010, he was still, like, clean-shaven babyface, and he was a believable high school teen who could also, like, drive a car. Like, great casting. Also, fantastic lead. So sorry he was in this movie.
Yeah.
Rooney Mara as well. Like, we all now recognize as, like, a fine actress. Miscast in this role.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She famously did not.
You could tell.
Yeah, she didn't want to be in this movie. She didn't have a good time making this movie.
Doesn't seem like it.
Once they finished this movie, she was like, I'm done, I'm out, I don't want to do it, and killed any chances of a sequel, which for Jackie's sake, that fucking sucks. Because, like I said, huge shoes to fill. Maybe if we developed out that character a little bit further and fixed some things for in a sequel, it could have been okay. He could have saved his performance as that.
I feel like this whole movie is like guilty of trying to do too much with Frederick Krueger as a character. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's like 80%.
Trigger warning from here on out.
Yeah.
We're just gonna flash that real quick. Yes, in the original Nightmare thing, he starts out a child killer, and then you find out some unsavory things about Freddy's character. This one, they threw it in right in the beginning that he is a essay against children.
Yeah. So that will have to unfortunately kind of come up a lot because as much as it's always been, not always, but like since at least like part 3, we've kind of understood that like Freddy has been going after kids not only because he's a predator, but also because it's like revenge against the parents of those specific Elm Street kids that vigilante'd him.
Yeah.
But like it has been like since then, at least the mid 80s, like a part of the character, and like in the remake, not only do they like toss that up front, which is like I wouldn't not expect that necessarily, but what I found to be so offensive was like the sort of debatable implication that we were meant to feel for him and question whether or not the parents did it in the wrong without like understanding that he definitely was guilty. Like for so much of the remake, Kyle Gallner is angry that he's getting chased because his parents killed the wrong guy or killed an innocent man. Which I don't feel like that's a big part of any of the other movies.
Huge missed opportunity in my opinion of like if we got through this and like the big bombshell ending or like the sequel, we find out that it's like, no, none of that shit happened. They killed an innocent man. Like that, and then we flip flop to like Jackie Earle Haley is like fucking making a deal with a demon for revenge against the people that killed him. That could have been an interesting twist or take on things. Unfortunately, that's not what we got. What we got was a murderous pedophile, and that didn't feel great.
See, I don't know. Like that makes sense to me. It's not that I need my villain to feel good. It's more that like we spent too much time watching him play with the kids.
There it is. That part.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tag me in. So this is what I fucking hate about the 2000s is like they linger on the shock value. They linger on these like, cringe isn't the right word I'm thinking of, but it's like
Also,
I
the producers, a lot of these producers were huge pieces of shit that were really comfortable being pieces of shit.
And it's just it's so frustrating because like with Nightmare on Elm Street, you have the source material, you have have a great skeleton. You can tweak it, you can turn it, but then by changing everything, by making it darker, by making him, not this wisecracking, humorous entity, and leaning into the dark 2000s of like all this like grit and shock value, it's so frustrating.
You mean a melted grimdark extra from the musical Cats? Because when we get into the prosthetic makeup design, this man
that was a
like
jellicle choice that he just made.
It was.
I will. Ooh, I will.
Did I just make a Cats joke?
I'm clipping that shit.
No! Stick it for the record.
I want to put a pin in that because we're going to spend like 10 minutes making fun
On
of
the
his
makeup.
Yeah. But I don't want to jump to that yet because I think your point is so like
it's
well
so
made.
frustrating, and especially on like sense. I mean, I say obviously not in justifying, but like in the times, this was unfortunately the norm. Having these dark things to the front for the sake of
Definitely part of a wave, part of a trend of the 2000s.
And it's terrible. And
it's a very cheap way of trying to create tension.
It's an easy
and horror.
That and hollow.
That. And it's disgusting. And I'm just like,
you feel dirty watching it type of thing. It's like this is not.
I don't want to watch it.
This is not it.
But like for the record, we love True Detective Season 1, an 8-hour epic about the same sort of topics of stuff. But like, and as grimy and gritty as that is, it's different because like that has so much intention and like that's a whole other podcast.
Yes.
But like what I was gonna say is like that same sort of distastefulness that we were seeing in like the sort of third act reveal or like sort of second act playing with the ambiguity of did he do it or not. Even though he like obviously did, like it's so stupid on so many levels. But like that sort of distastefulness of like having to watch him like play with the kids and like wonder whether or not he was, just an innocent man living in the basement was the same kind of distastefulness that I think was behind the choices of like the opening credit design of it's like, kids singing and like chalk spelling out the names of the opening credits behind their names and just like. That's what I was saying earlier, where like it felt like the worst sort of aesthetic impulses of like a Korn music video. You know what I mean? Like just trying too hard to lean into like the distastefulness for its own grimy sake, as opposed to like
the movie
having
would have probably been more
idea.
successful if Freddy started scatting halfway through.
If he just turned into a jazz man.
Yeah, boom, not boom.
Oh, Jonathan Davis scatting.
Yeah.
Scatting's not the word we should use in relation to.
but yeah, it's just so distasteful and like that's of.
But like again, like we're horror fans, so it's not as if we're inherently against poor taste.
We exist. We exist in the realm of like the
schlock, the gore, the gross, the goop,
wet,
like,
the grindhards,
But you don't like revel in it after doing 40 minutes of I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. Poorly delivered jokes by like God bless him. I love Jackie Earle Haley. Watchmen's awesome. He's a great performer. But like the prosthetics, that makeup, he couldn't move his mouth.
Dude, okay, so
he's talking and his face ain't doing nothing.
My
his
thoughts
brows
on
can't
Jackie
move.
Earle Haley doing Freddy is I truly feel he could have brought something to this role. I feel like if they let Jackie Earle Haley do him, he could have brought something to that character that would have been so crazy. But no, what we got was the director and the production company standing in the way and telling him exactly what to do and then pitching his voice down 9 octaves so that way the fucking speakers rumble and you can't hear what he's saying. And we're getting this half-assed excuse for his makeup, which we will get to.
Cat in a hat. He is Cat in a hat. I hate it. It's the same reason Michael Myers bothers us all in that movie.
It's just like, I feel like he could have brought something so cool to the table because he is a character actor. He is right type of guy for this role.
Great character
They
actor
wrote
and performer.
A horrible thing for him to have to work with. They gave him bad lines and they gave him bad direction.
And fans were against it from the jump because they were just not happy about Robert Englund not being able to do his thing. But they wanted to go in a different direction, but not different enough, and also too different. Like, it just doesn't hit on any of the notes it should hit on. Especially and including, like, again, we could make fun of the makeup and prosthetics, and we will, and, like, we can, like, point out how some casting choices were great. Kyle Gallner is doing the Lord's work, so much effort into, like,
I have a hot take about Kyle Gallner and Rooney Mara.
I was gonna say, whereas I don't think Rooney Mara like cared or gave a shit, and she didn't need to.
No.
Like she did.
Kyle should have been our lead. Kyle should have been the Nancy character, in my opinion.
That would have been a more interesting choice. Get rid of Heather, you know.
Do like a little bit of a swap.
He's Hank now, you know.
Take it and change it. Take it and change it a little bit. But no, keep it, Quentin. Keep the story that you have. But just make him the main character instead of following her around.
It's funny you say that because
he's a stronger actor, or
his performance was better. He cared about where he was.
Yeah.
He was more believable. He wasn't flat.
No, you're fine. It's probably because Rooney said, I don't want to be a part of this. But
it was visible throughout the whole movie.
And Dead by Daylight, the Freddy we have is the 2010 Freddy.
Yeah, which I thought was a very odd choice.
Say what? Wait, what again?
So Dead by Daylight video game, the one with all the horror icons and such. The licensing for Freddy isn't Robert's, it's Jackie's.
I'm sure that's like legal stuff. Does it look like?
It looks like
It looks like Jackie.
So that's interesting.
And probably because Rooney
is it the same sort of like weird nose?
Yeah.
He looks like Voldemort in a sweater, yeah.
And probably because Rooney said she doesn't want to be a part of it, we got Kyle Gallner's Quentin as the survivor to counteract it. So I think that's...
I didn't realize that they put him in as a survivor. That's really cool.
Yeah, Quentin is there.
Dude, that's so cool. All of my favorite people are on that game.
It's funny though, because like he is top billed, other than Haley, and he
I
is
just feel like
very much a protagonist.
The script could have benefited from pivoting from following her to following Quentin.
Well, and speaking of, I was saying it earlier. You're basically replacing Deputy John Saxon with apparently psychologist Connie Britton. Who I love Connie Britton. She's a great actress, nothing against her, but like different energy than horror icon John Saxon, specifically in Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, God, like none of the casting was really very good, except for the luck of Kyle Gallner. But anyway,
I think he was the one that was given enough room to move around with the script. Everybody else, I felt like had like the heel and the pressure put on them for it. Because I think, the studio knew what they were doing. The director knew what they were doing. It's like, this is a big thing. Not a lot of people were stoked about it. We got to really muscle in and make this what it has to be. We have to really buckle down and live in this thing. Oh, what about me, the secondary character that's kind of in the background? Kyle, you just do whatever, man. And he fucking steals it. He steals the fucking show.
I agree. Like it works. If it does it all, very much on his shoulders. But I think like him and the other two characters, the blonde and what's his face,
Chris and Jesse.
Much like if I'm correct, like in the original, also like serve a similar purpose in that they are kind of like breaking the story before the leads, but because they are going to get killed early on.
Oh, fun fact about Chris: when Chris dies, she's wearing a jersey, has the same number that Glenn was wearing, same jersey number that he was wearing when he died.
Oh, that's
in the original.
Oh, that's so funny. I just found the still of that.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty funny. Yeah. That's a good nod.
Like a nod and a wink. The other piece of trivia that I have here, I had 3 for this one because this movie just did not have a lot going on. I said the sweater thing. The gloves were watched very heavily during the making of this movie. They were for the 2010s Nightmare. They were
like swipe them.
The gloves were locked up if they were not in use because they kept getting stolen. I.e., Evil Dead 2 is the reason why the gloves were locked up. Is because the prop department stole one. People wouldn't stop taking them.
That's funny.
Probably not to necessarily put in their indie horror productions, but to just have...
I just thought that was just such a funny little thing, and I was like, oh, of course.
Guys, wouldn't it be so funny if we did it again?
Yeah. All right, are you guys ready to talk about this face?
I was going to say, I think we've covered everything else, so...
I will say...
Go ahead.
Jackie did the best that he could because it is on note that he described the experience of wearing the prosthetics to be encumbering. To be
the man in the iron mask. Like, my God, like just an Iron Maiden of just ugh.
He said it like, I think he quoted it as like, it felt like living hell.
Yeah. You can visibly see how like the brow of the prosthetics like cut into like halfway, like the half insides of his eyes. His nose is gone. It like takes like what would be like the like again like it looks like cat makeup because you just got like like a Grinch
So,
prosthetic.
Put some respect on my cats.
Yeah.
No, but not even like the musical cats, but like the same thing, like the way that like the Grinch and all the Who's
Yeah,
and
like
Whoville.
a
Yes,
cat,
it's like that
cat
little-
mouth.
Like,
Yeah.
or like a bear, like it's that same, but like it's not even detailed, and it also looks like the one live action Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Not the new one with our other Scream King, Dan Stevens.
No,
but
you're
there's
talking
one
about
from the 90s.
the one from the 90s with
He looks like the lion from Wizard of
God
Oz.
damn it, what's his name? What's his name?
Was it a famous?
Yes.
Oh shoot, because I feel like I saw that as like a kid.
It's
but-
Hellboy.
Oh, is it Perlman?
Perlman, Ron Perlman.
That's amazing.
Ron
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
It is.
He's been he is yeah,
Our man.
our one of our other
Hell
dudes.
yeah. Another great character
All right,
actor.
so
and pulpy leading
props to the special effects department, the physical, practical effects department for what they tried to do. Because I can
move his mouth
I
either. His
understand
mouth
the
never moves.
concept.
Like,
the concept
look at
here
this.
is that they're like, hey, if it's someone. They took what burn victims actually
And
look
that's
like,
flattering. Like,
and
you can
what
see his nose there.
so like if you're getting burned, yes, the first things to
Sure.
burn away are your ears, your nose, and your lips.
Okay, but scientific
I
accuracy is
get
not why we're
that.
showing up to these movies.
Yes, exactly. The makeup that they gave him was something better used as a side character in a war movie, or like someone in a hospital movie, in a medical drama, or someone who is not having to deliver long, big lines or monologues. That is that makeup. Like, I almost put this makeup next to like Gary Oldman's makeup in Hannibal.
Yes.
Where it's like where he had his
Good
face
call.
shoot off.
Yes.
shit.
That's
100%.
that, and it's supposed to be impedant in that part. Like when Gary Oldman is giving his speech to the detective, it's horrifying. Just
Oh,
be more-
I remember.
yeah.
I remember.
When
I'm just
he's
pulling
when
it up.
he's giving his account of what his dinner experience with Hannibal Lecter, and he's struggling and fighting to talk
And the
because
spit
his
and the
the
drool.
lip
He doesn't
and
have
then-
a lip.
Yeah, all of it. Like his face is fucking gone.
And not for nothing, Michael Pitt also does fantastic work in the same character on the TV version.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
And it's like, that's what that makeup should be used for. Not
yeah.
in this context.
Or
This, like,
Or do
what,
it in this context, but allow him to move his jaw for,
Yes.
for crying out loud.
they almost went too far with making it more of a problem and a nuisance because it's supposed to be more of a realistic handicap to his face. And it's
Mason
like,
Verger.
I get what you guys were going for. This was not the time or the place to do this.
Ugh.
The other thing that really pisses me off about this is, yes, they did do like physical, practical makeup for him. But if you look at the behind the scenes, they green screened out a bunch of spots on his face for no fucking reason than to put some shitty, smooth CGI over it.
Well, I think they were trying to, because I could see it in multiple shots where like they were. I think we're trying to do like Two-Face in The
like
Dark Knight.
missing cheek thing and like a little bit of a skull showing on his forehead.
It's
like,
so funny you should say that because the visual effects crew that worked on The Dark Knight were brought in to work on the CGI for his face. So that's
funny.
very spot
And
on.
this
that
is 2 years after Dark Knight, and like that looked amazing. Like,
Yeah,
why
I don't know why. Like, I guess it had to have been a funding issue. It had to have been like a funding software,
Poor
whatever the
ideas,
fuck
too.
it comes out to be. But that leads me into my second point. The CGI in this movie is a fucking heinous crime against humanity.
The one.
Why is it so smooth?
So there are two parts that I thought I could excuse the CG. The one was in the thing I was describing to you earlier, where we see Rooney Mara fall through the ceiling, and she goes from like her clothes to like the weird creepy little girl like dress thing, and she like falls into the bed in like the clean white dress, and so it's kind of extra jarring that she's like getting her clothes transitioned, but that she's also falling through like a floating pool of blood on the ceiling, which is like kind of an homage to like the original's opening or whatever the blood gush sequence.
Yeah.
So like.
Both sequences kind of smashed together. Yeah.
I mean, they did practical 30 years earlier. Why couldn't you do it again? Like what? But I could excuse the blood CG in that sequence because it's kind of like a weird anti-gravity thing. Okay, fine. That was the one instance. The second one, I think it kind of works when in the ending of the remake they're doing the homage / like twist on the original's ending of getting pulled through the window of the door, which I love that effect, even though it's like kind of absurd and silly and crazy. But like in the remake. Sorry, spoilers, I guess, whatever. Connie Britton gets pulled through a mirror. essentially the same thing, but like, you know, that was the other digital effect that I can be like, all right, you're getting pulled through a friggin' mirror.
Yeah, how do you do that? Yeah.
No, and then, like, you probably could if you had a talented, caring group of folks behind a better script.
Well, actually,
like, I'm sure
you know what?
could, but
Fuck that. Evil Dead 2 did it.
I was gonna
Evil
say,
Dead
like,
2 did it practically.
we'd always rather see practical effects. But like
when
those
Ash
were the
touches
two.
the mirror and it's water.
Or like if you're gonna do it like the Matrix. You know what I mean? Like where he touches the mirror and it becomes like the weird jelly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that.
yeah.
Like it's kind of called for. Anyway, this shit ain't the Matrix. And so whatever. Like,
Oh,
but
no,
nonetheless, like those are the two instances where I was like, all right, I guess I can kind of excuse the CG. But like it's used so much more and more egregiously and just on his face and just in places where it doesn't work.
The use on his face when it doesn't work. I brought it up to you guys earlier before we started. It was like the scene when his face pokes through the wall looked so bad because
it's terrible.
it was done. That is a gag that has been around for forever. And in the original, they did it with him just pressing his face through some spandex or some latex, and it fucking worked.
You mean
looked
that?
amazing.
You mean that face?
Right. Yeah. That's terrible. That was a shot.
You
of
mean
a
that
remake.
face?
Shot
Yeah.
of a remake doing it.
But
no,
and I had brought up Frighteners.
which was a digital version of
Yeah,
it.
that was CGI.
But that looked
and that
good.
took place 6 years before this.
So that
No.
was 96.
96. So
So it was
14.
14 years beforehand.
so like even more insulting.
Yeah, and it was like that was done so well. What the hell was going on, man?
It's not even like a good angle either. Like it's a weird port. Like it's just bad on every level.
Yeah,
of
this
that.
this one there's not a whole lot of redeeming qualities to it.
Oh, that was the other thing with like special effects. Like I was gonna say, like even when you have part 5 and Freddy's dead, like at least folks can kind of enjoy, or even like part 2. I know is like kind of like a campy, like or not that it's campy, but like whatever. People can find redeeming qualities often in the creativity of the special effects, even when they got kind of Looney Tunesy, Roger Rabbity. You know what I mean? Like people still could appreciate and enjoy those stunts and those gags and whatever. In this one, they don't even take advantage of the fact that he is a dream monster, that he is like a surreal nightmare being. They don't take zero advantage of any creative environments. He's just forever in like the basement, the cave,
boiler room.
the boiler room.
the classroom in the one.
I was gonna say the one time they like kind of take advantage is when he, I don't know, I think Rooney Mara's walking down a hallway with Kyle Gallner maybe, and like the floor gets liquidy. Like, that was kind of, like, the most crazy and weird and surreal they got. Like,
it's supposed to be surreal. Yeah.
It's a disservice when you're like how we started this off. We're like,
Dream Warriors is so much more visually engaging and creative and like, holy cow.
when
like,
you think
wow.
about dreams and the infinite
Freddy was a
possibilities,
Freddy was a
potential.
cloud in that movie. He was a cloud. Why did we get a cloud?
We got a Freddy Mobile at one
We
point.
did.
You know? Like,
He was a bus.
yeah, like... yeah, not even the car at the end of the original. Like,
Yeah.
his face is on the front of something at
Yeah.
some point.
so like it is.
He
so,
also turned into a worm.
Yeah.
And a telephone.
It's wild.
And a TV.
The worm one.
His tongue.
Yeah, the tongue in the
phone,
first. Yeah. No, the worm is on.
The worm is
horrible.
-3 out of 10.
Oh God, I love
Frank
the
Herbert fan fiction.
dude
going on.
the practical for like when he like tears his shirt and there's all the faces poking through his skin. Dude, that was on like a fucking massive scale.
And even when it's
Like the chest that they did was literally like all the faces were human-sized faces. There was a
big, that's a
massive
lot.
chest.
Damn.
And they actually had people pressing through it. It was,
but that allows for
yeah.
like really good detail,
Yeah.
especially when you zoom in and whatever.
yeah, so sick.
And
We didn't get none of that.
A smart like use of perspective shift to have a practical special effect that would visually be arresting and boom and all this, and just
It's like the
none of that
opposite.
shit in the
It's
remake.
the opposite side of like a lot of the claymation or like the stop motion that we got in like Evil Dead. Like, there's a fun twist to that kind of thing. None of that clever filmmaking made its way into this movie. And
like-
also, we're just gonna like wash it out with green and blue and make it just fucking muddy.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like Rooney Mara's never looked worse, not because she wasn't ever like a beautiful, waifish, like skinny white lady. Like she always looks great, but like in this movie, she's just like all hair and white
Pallid
skin.
blue.
And like in a Del Toro movie, it would look like haunting and beautiful and great. But like it's just so again like without intention here. So like her hair just bleeds into the black background, and she's just like a floating like Q-tip, and it's just so weird and like off-putting, and you like there's no dimension in the backgrounds. It's just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Color grading. Figure it out.
Yeah, which is like it's such a disservice to like the franchise itself, because like we were saying at the beginning of the episode, like the color was everything in the franchise. Like
be so
they
useful
played
and
with the
effective.
lighting so much, and it's like, and then you guys did not.
But did I mention, like, I did think that Connie Britton through the mirror, actually, fingers through the face, then body through the mirror. I honestly thought it was like, okay, that's kind of a creative homage to the original's ending.
I will say one of the cool things about
Cheap, but... Sorry.
No, one of the cool things about it was like the gag of they're having the conversation, the mirror's there. She like bends down, comes up, and the reflection of her is Freddy. And so it's like it's not like too much, it's not like
Claymation
a big
Freddy.
shock. It's not like a big shock, but it's like a, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
You know who he looks like? And I love The Last Jedi. Like, I'm one of those
I
people.
swear to God.
Do you say Emperor Snoke?
He looks like Snoke.
He does.
He's got that weird, like, oh, James and the Giant Peach, but the peach got rotted out.
Yeah.
Look. It just clicked for him. Sorry.
His head is just too big for his body.
And it's like T-shaped.
And like his jaw is like
He's
half
missing bits of the cheek.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's just
It's that concave cheek.
Which
That's-
again,
I think works. in
Gary
that
Oldman
movie.
and Hannibal.
Yeah.
Same
yeah,
sort of thing.
Yeah.
The cheek is all screwed up.
Yeah. It's the Mason Verger thing again.
Yeah. Like,
Very skull-esque.
personally, like, if I had to, like, pull something that I would, like, if I wanted to keep it and change the other things, like I said, make his face more mobile. I kind of did like the skin pull around his eyes, because it's like, when you burn and your face melts, that
against those
scarring
details.
where your eyelids are gone and your fucking skin grows over that spot, it kind of felt to me like that was, like, on the verge of the assassin dude from Hellboy that didn't have eyelids. Like, I like that.
Okay, sure. Yeah. And because
He
that's
had
like,
no
again,
lips.
because the idea of that experience is hellish and frightening. So like that's
Yeah.
a cool detail. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can
But
kind
visually-
of pay homage to like the original and do like more sparse burn, like crazy burn marks all over his face, but you don't have to melt the poor guy.
And like visually, like I'm into those details, but like you have to let the performer be able to perform. You have to like take advantage of the premise for creative, cool, surrealistic, visually engaging kills. And you also have to like build characters that it makes sense when they do stuff. Because like this just
I'm
doesn't
sorry, was
do
there a
any
plot?
of those things.
You wanted a plot?
Well, also, like, it's the same plot as the original, but, like, they only changed, like, some stuff and not enough, and it's just, like, all the wrong approaches.
The biggest disservice in a show, in a movie, in any kind of art is not putting into consideration, can my actors successfully do their job with what we are giving them?
Yeah, there's
And
like that
is-
trust that needs to happen.
Yeah, or just even a conversation. Like, if we're doing like a costume parade for a show, one of the first things you do is, do you do any dancing? Yes or no? Yes? Can you do what you need to do in your outfit? And if it's no, like, okay, we'll go back to the drawing board and work something
There's
out.
trust,
There's-
cooperation, and change, and like adapting on your feet to like what you are presented with, what you have to work with.
Now, I don't know how the conversation went with this, but like if if Jackie says like, this, it's a lot.
Let me deliver this a certain way, or there's too much on my face. I can't fucking breathe in this.
And
I don't want to be
just
around
sucks
anymore.
because-
Yes, actually, the chin kills. Sorry, I think
Not just
a
the
great
chin.
show.
Jackie Earle Haley once said, "I don't even want to be around anymore." Is it because the face? Yeah, it's because the face.
and it sucks
I said it
'cause
would be interesting. Okay.
there comes a world where it's like, what if Jackie got like, his 5 stars across the board, everything worked out for him how it wanted to, how he would have been able to, and what product would that have been?
Too many people, I think, make stuff without asking, like, why are we making it? And, like, for Elm Street, it is either creative kills, cool characters, like, creative kills from the first,
Yeah.
cool
Surrealist
characters from the
filmmaking.
third, surreal, like, those effects, right? Or,
Not many movie plots allow you to play with that sort of ideal.
No.
so, like, cool kills, cool characters, or that, like, meta-narrative that we got in New Nightmare. And, like, this didn't do any of that, and I was so often like, why are we here? Right?
The
Are
whole
we
thing was
here
about
to
as
watch?
flat as the CGI looked.
Are we here to watch like Kyle Gallner and Rooney Mara do like teen drama shit? are we here to watch like?
That may have actually been a good movie though. Like, straight up.
If it was
if it had
untethered.
nothing to do with Nightmare on Elm
Right.
Street and it was just the two of them being like high school sweeties and we get a fucking like teen drama out of it, that probably would have been a good movie.
But instead, like, we're also married to this, like, mission statement of, like, well, I don't want to get into the cool, surreal visuals so much as, like, I just want to, like, revel in, like, childhood abuse imagery.
Yeah. You know which part I really resonated with in the originals?
Was the girl's pigtails? Like,
Yeah, the thing that I really resonated with was the abuse. I wanna stick with that. It's like, that's a weird fucking thing to narrow in on, guys.
like, I'm just so convinced that, like, somewhere during, like, script breaking downs or production meetings, Michael Bay was like, I just really need to see Rooney Mara in ankle socks. And I'm like, no thank you. And that's what it feels like this movie was for. And that's why I'm just like, miss me with all of it.
Yeah.
Hate it. The worst part about it, like, we know it is a cash grab. Like, if we look at, like, box office / production value of, not production value, but budget box office. The first one, it was a budget of 1.1 million, and it had 57 million box office. Like, less is more. Live in what you're doing, and the results will come. Whereas,
Or if you have something to say, you know, as opposed to just checking off
yeah.
boxes.
And
Oh,
then for
no,
the new
this
one,
is-
it's 35 million for the 2010, and box office was 117. So, like, people go to see it because they know of the IP.
All right, the hype was generated.
But it's
sure,
unfortunate
sure.
because, like,
This is definitely a production issue. I just looked it up. I wanted to blame the director because I'm like,
For what?
obviously the director
for
is one
2010?
of the people to blame for this. I don't really think that it was the director who. I think
No, that's why
production
I'm-
stepped all over
That's
it.
why I'm
yeah.
blaming Michael Bay. But
Yeah,
no,
absolutely. So Samuel Bayer this is 100% because, like you said, it was a Platinum Dooms. It was a cash grab. It was just a piece of shit from the beginning.
Conceived.
It's almost like one of those like producers style things. I'm thinking it was like, how can we make a movie just to make money, even no matter how bad it is. Samuel Bayer is a music video director. This is not the first time this has come up in our SLASHICS
plenty of
for the
great-
remakes. Yeah.
Plenty of great film directors
Yes.
come from music videos,
But
including David
so
Fincher.
often these guys get pulled because it's like, oh, you'll probably do it for cheaper than the other guys will, and you know what you're doing. You know how to run a camera. You know how to direct. Well,
And work with weird talent.
he
come up
did
with
this
creative
movie.
stuff.
He did like one or two other movies that didn't really go anywhere, and then went back to directing music videos. Samuel Bayer directed. Claudio, I am so fucking sorry. The music video for Welcome to the Black Parade and
Ooh.
Famous Last Words.
Oh, hell yeah. Why is that an apology? We love My Chem, right?
I just hope it doesn't leave any distaste for.
Oh.
Like, I'm looking back through his like IMDb
awesome, though.
credits right now, and it's like he did like golden age Green Day music videos. So like Jesus of Suburbia, Holiday, American Idiot, like that whole era. He did a bunch of Blink-182, Smashing Pumpkins, like Lenny Kravitz, Poison. An unfortunate man whose name is a smashing up of a famous woman and a serial killer. Did some of his videos. LL Cool J. Garbage, like the list goes on.
shit,
He did
yeah.
a lot of like Maroon 5 is a big
Well, so,
name.
I mean, I don't think there's anything like wrong with that.
No.
Benatar!
But it's I just feel like I just hope that this didn't leave a stain for that. Like he's worked with so many and done so many music videos that I can remember. Just they're in my brain. I
Yeah.
remember watching like the making of these music videos that were on MTV when they did that.
This is a different pod, but like
Yeah.
just because I know we're all My Chem fans, you know what I was listening to this weekend? I want to know your guys' feelings on Danger Days. Did you guys like that album?
Boo.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
That's totally
it.
fair. No, I kind of love
Not-
it.
it's
won't
not
walk-
my thing.
I won't walk the plank for it, but it eats.
I just think it's all like I just think they as a band like are just wildly interesting. I find them fascinating from start to finish. But like
I know this
I
is
dig on
like
Danger Days.
a popular bad take on it, but like not as an awful song. I don't like that song.
Oh, and that makes all the sense in the world. Like it's very easy to
The
be like,
concept is
"No,
cool.
This was a poor
I'm not the
choice."
intended audience.
No, because it's a big swing, it's a big choice, and so if you're not kind of sold from the jump, I think it's more than fair to be like, nah, that grates on me. That's why I'm always, but I know you guys are fans, so that's why I was curious.
Yeah, I just it's just sorry to
different pod, though. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry to like pivot that real quick.
But I was to honor the work of someone else who did.
We always kind of go back and touch on what the director's other stuff was, and it was like this was a shocking grab for like, oh wait, that fucking guy.
But in the same way that like the MCU, right, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the greater Disney film apparatus, whatever you want to like describe it as, like, has gotten heat and criticism, rightly so, in my opinion, for doing things like pulling up-and-coming indie directors who were like getting, accolades or getting kind of looked at and being like, ooh, don't you want a big break? Don't you want to do a big studio thing? And like,
You want the bread, little birdie?
Talking about like,
I fucking love this bread.
The folks who were brought in to do, honestly, a lot of both Captain Marvel movies, right? Because you had, is it Ryan Bowen and something, or Ryan Fleck and her first name Bowen? Like the two people that directed, I think it's the one Ryan Gosling movie. Is it Half Nelson? And then they did Captain Marvel, and then like Nia DaCosta, then did The Marvels, and like what I mean. But like they did this with also Kate Shortland and Black Widow. But anyway, like
I didn't see any of those movies.
Or it's again, I'm kind of getting into the Marvel nerd weeds, but like it's the same
concept
trend of like a kind of like more powerful studio with an IP just wanting to like get a job done and hoping to like
who can we get for a little bit less than
a sort of journeyman, but a more vulnerable, less experienced one, or someone from a different medium that would like be easily like sort of transposed into our little gig before we could drop you back into your, whatever situation. Yeah. And it just feels very like, at least in the case of like the MCU more recently, you're kind of like stealing these people for like, 6 years of their lives and like potentially derailing their careers.
I will say it is good to see that it's like he did keep directing music videos after that. Like they didn't like just chuck him in the trash and he was like, I have to hide my face for forever now.
Right.
And Freaky Tales is an awesome movie from 2024 directed by those two folks whose names I just
interesting.
Up.
Yeah.
And I know we like that movie a lot.
What were you gonna say, Claudio?
Just I wanted to dig a little deeper after you said about the music video. Mm-hmm. So Sam declined this offer twice.
Sam, your buddy?
Samuel. Get old Sammy.
Sammy. They're buddies now. Sammy!
Yeah, Samuel, he declined this offer twice.
See, again, speaks to who really was
and
trying
I
to
bet
get
you Michael Bay was like, get your ass over here. I'm going to pay
Funny
you.
You should say that. Finally accepted after Bay emailed him and explained the kind of business opportunity it would be.
See, man.
Probably because he was starting to wise up to it, and he's like, listen, man, I'll fucking cut you in if you just do this for me. We're going to make a lot of money on this, whether it's good or not. And then you'll go back to your little life making those cute little things that you call music videos, whatever those are, because I'm Michael Bay and I'm out of touch with human beings.
So, just...
It's unsurprising.
Yeah.
I am glad that it's like...
Yeah, no, it all fits a very gross narrative.
Yeah, it's a gross narrative, but it's like I am glad that he kind of made it out on the other side of it. Same thing with Kyle Gallner. Like, he didn't disappear into obscurity after this.
And kept doing the horror thing.
Yeah,
and
Rooney
kept doing
Mara
the
did
thing.
not no obscurity for her.
Well, and it seems like Kyle Gallner probably had a better time on set, or at least a better attitude or whatever coming off of it. But when I was watching this morning,
if we ever get him on the pod, we can ask him about it genuinely.
That really,
I'd have so many questions.
I'm realizing now. I think subconsciously that's why we've done this, just on the off chance that we can just interview Kyle Gallner and have him over for
or David.
There's more.
We'll get David on here.
There's more than people.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
Or we'll get David on here.
He just seems like the most down dude to roll through on something like that. But no, all jokes aside, when I was watching this morning, I was like, that poor man is freezing in that like Speedo that he had to do so many scenes.
Oh my god! Okay, the swimming pool was actually
around outside in a warehouse or whatever.
Kind of a cool dream sequence. They had something cool to kind of start going off of, and then they immediately capped it again. Like it just was like
they do nothing with it.
Yeah.
You want a good creepy pool scene? Watch It Follows. That's one of my favorite scenes. Same for Let the Right One In.
Ooh.
The original.
Yes.
Great
And there was
pool
also
scenes.
like that movie about those girls that were trapped in the pool with the pool cover closed on it. I can't remember what the fuck that was.
Carrie too. No.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, sounds awful. Yeah, and then like I can't remember what Jackie Earle Haley actually what ended up going on to do after this, because The Watchmen was before this, correct?
Yeah.
Because that was, I want to say
06.
09. Yeah, 09, 06.
09, maybe. Yeah. So actually right before. No, he's continued to work. He's thankfully not marred by this role.
He will keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like character actors like that. You can't really keep him down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, thankfully.
he's just gonna kind of continue doing stuff. Oh yeah, he was in
Dark Tower, RoboCop.
Okay, well,
Not really selling it.
at least he's working. That's great.
This was a bit of a down. It was he was in Shutter Island, which was kind of an interesting thing to move into. But he's also in Dark Shadows, which was.
You know what? I'll give him a shout out. He was
Whatever, he's getting paid.
He voice acted
He's
in The
fine.
Evil Within,
He's fine.
Yeah.
which is a pretty fucking cool horror franchise. So
Yeah, I think he's a fun guy to put into different things because he is just properly creepy when he wants to be, and that's like, he really should have just like been given a chance to really flex with this, and he didn't get that.
At one point during the remake, when he smells Heather and is like, "You smell different," and then she wakes up, I was like, "Oh, cool! That'll be like foreshadowing for the fact that like she can have
She's
a
gonna
little
be
bit
killed
more
by a giant nose.
metaphysical effect on him, and like maybe like they'll elaborate on how she's different or what makes her special." Or no, none of it ever comes back. It's just him being creepy, and it's just so at the forefront that he's like chasing down his like whatever. It's just too unpalatable.
I guess you could say it was Bad News Bears. Just kidding, because that was like his.
Another Jackie Earl Haley.
That was his break into the acting actually as a child.
I'll shove you into a
Maybe the lesson to take away that we can kind of like settle on and say goodbye with is that like, you know, we love horror. We love weird, dark, taboo breaking stuff, but you have to balance it with like the fundamentals of like satisfying storytelling and like some sort of humanist decency.
We've said it before. We'll
Because
say it
when
again.
that's not there,
Intention.
this is what you get.
Yeah, intention
so-
is so important. Have something to say. Do something with it. Like,
And not even if you not even have something to say, like as in like having like, you know, a moral at the end of it or anything.
Or just
Just
want
like
to do something cool, like
Yeah.
have a genuine intention just to even want to like achieve
That.
something, as opposed to getting the weird Michael Bay bully off your back.
yeah, absolutely that.
So there you have it. Good art doesn't come from holding someone's gun to your head.
yeah. But go back and watch the original franchise, because the original franchise was great. And I'm probably going to have to watch some of the old franchise just to get the taste of this movie out of my
As
mouth.
to say, everyone's favorite on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dream
Three.
Warriors!
Warriors!
3.
Everyone's favorite on 3.
He was a
3.
cloud!
He was a cloud.
Well, if you guys are all good,
Yeah.
I think that'll about do it for us at the podcast downstairs. We hope that you had as much fun as we did. If you catch up on previous episodes, they are on our YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts from. You can also find us on TikTok and Instagram. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow. We'd love to hear your thoughts, especially your thoughts on this movie, because I know they're going to be some hot takes. We'd like to thank our producer and tech wizard, Don, as always, as well as Not Great Entertainment for all the help setting up the pod. Take care of yourselves. Try to have good dreams. And until next time, stay out of the basement.
Plenty of rest.